We welcome you once again to the program Know Yourself. As I have always said, Know Yourself is a platform that we use to help all of us build our relationship, to get along with people and live in a society peacefully. So we give you information that will help you relate with others. As I mentioned the last time that we met, we have embarked upon a very big journey, and the journey is anger. We talked about how to handle your anger or ways that people handle anger the last time that we met. Today, we're going to look at the causes of anger. What brings about anger? As you may know, there are many reasons anger invades people's lives. Anger is triggered by a vast array of emotions and events. Some of the more prominent and significant that I want us to consider today would be frustration, alienation, hurt, or threats of hurt, maybe injustice, fear. These are few that I want us to concentrate. Now, let's begin with frustration. When we say you are frustrated or frustration, what comes to mind? In fact, you realize that if something is preventing another thing or someone from succeeding or getting what you want, the feeling that you get as a result of being prevented from reaching a goal or a success causes frustration. So I have a target, I have something that I want to do. There's a goal that I want to achieve, and something is preventing me from getting to that goal. Obviously, it causes anger in you. So there are probably few times in life when a person's frustration level can equal the frustration experience during your lifetime, especially for the adolescents. In the case of teens and preteens, they are in a very active, energized, expansive, and expressive stage in their development. And as a result, they are extremely likely to experience frustration. Why that? It is so because these young ones have so many things that they want to get in life, just as I said. So maybe I want a boyfriend, I want a girlfriend, I want a girl lover, I want a certificate, I want to get to a certain course and then get a certificate out of it. All these things for the teens, adolescents, and the preteens, because they have a long journey to travel through life. As something happens alongside and they find it difficult reaching there, they become frustrated, and as a result, anger will be awaiting them. Again, when this happens and they become frustrated, as I've already indicated, they become angry. And if you don't take care, someone who is frustrated in life, if you don't take care, the person vents his anger on you. Now, the second, which also causes anger, is what we call alienation. Now, alienation simply means making somebody feel that they do not belong to a certain group. You have alienated the person. And so I picked this from an authority called Oslon or Ossen. He points out that during early adolescence, peer group acceptance and involvement is vitally important for healthy adjustment to occur. Teenagers, for instance, are extremely sensitive to any indication for rejection or isolation from their group or from their special friends. Such isolation brings not only feelings of loneliness, but deeply felt and grave question about one's own identity. So in that case, why am I prevented? Why am I being prevented from joining my mates, my friends? In that case, you don't just feel lonely, but again, there's that strong question of you trying to find your identity. Is something wrong with me, or what is making these people prevent me from joining them? So that is the bottom line. And when alienation is deeply felt by a teenager or an adolescent, or even in your relationship with your partner, can you imagine when your wife and the children team up against you, or your husband and your wife also team up against you? At the workplace, we also experience that. Some colleagues have gathered, as they see you coming, they try to run away. Once these things happen, you are on the way of getting angry. And when they do happen, anger reactions are normally expected. And this can be outwardly expressed, or they can be internally directed in self-destructive, in some cases, risk-taking substance abuse, and then even in some cases, suicide. Now, the third thing that also causes anger is hurts or threats of hurts. Anger also arises as a reaction to physical or emotional hurts. When, for instance, in a field of play, a teammate will elbow the opponent. If that happens, I believe whether it is deliberate or not, that player who has been affected is likely to respond in anger. And so, when a parent calls a young person a cruel name, if your friends also do call you by certain names, anger will result, though it may be repressed. When your dad also cancels an appointment, for those of us who are young, that he has made a promise to you that he is taking you somewhere and he cancels it, that is also likely to cause anger in you. And then again, what is even more important is when a young man or woman is insulted. And by the same vein, if you are an adult, when you are insulted, made fun of, when people they humiliate you, ignored, or threaten, the offended party will respond with anger, obviously, expressed or not, whether the person expresses it or not. Once you are made to feel that humiliated, there's that tendency for you to vent an anger. Then the next, which also causes anger, is injustice. Injustice comes as a result the fact that a situation being unfair, and then of people not being treated equally. So when you see you have not been treated equally, or you have been treated unfairly, it means that is injustice. And again, I want to pick from Austin, who also says that adolescents, or those of us who are even grown up, tend to be strongly idealistic and firmly hold to their value system, imposing that system on others. Now, they are particularly, especially for adolescents, sensitive to any violation of their ethical code or value system, because such violations symbolically represent encroachment on their development autonomy. They are sensitive to perceived injustices that are perpetrated by parents, teachers, political leaders, pastors, or if you like, other authority figures in the society. And so, whenever you are treated unfairly, whenever you are not given equal attention, and so we should be careful in our relationship in order not to cause people so much. There's that likelihood in our relationship. If we treat people unfairly, we can easily cause anger in them. I want to also share with you that fear is yet another thing that brings or causes anger. Fear comes as a result of the bad feeling that you have when you are in danger, when something bad might happen, or when a particular thing frightens you. It comes as a result of that. For many of us, fear may also prompt anger among even the youths in the society. Fear of not making the team, fear of even failing an examination, fear of not reaching a goal, and what have you. Again, fear of not being asked to do something, and as against others who have been selected to do something. All this. Fear of being even embarrassed, maybe at a gym or somewhere. Such a plethora of worries and fears may create high levels of frustration and anger. Then I want to end by saying that learning is yet another thing that could cause anger in us. Knowledge that one gets from reading, studying, and then observing is what we say you are learning. And so anger may be a learned response in many cases. A young person may have learned inappropriate ways of handling and then expressing anger from either the parents or people who are in his immediate society or locality, or others in the family or the society, as I've already said. Such an individual may have learned to harbor hostility. It's a learned something. You have learned from those people who are very close to you how to harbor hostility, to let bitterness build up into rage, to resent or hate those who are different or express disagreement with him or her. And so we are saying that learning could also cause anger, because we have learned from people about how to harbor hostility, how to build bitterness in you, and therefore that will end to something else. And so today we have just shared with you some of the causes of anger, and I'm sure that we'll take note of that in order not to cause others to be angry. We thank you once again for your time, and then we also enjoin you to subscribe, and then we are inviting your comment as you have always done. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.